Hey, it's Clay. Welcome to another video. Today, I want to take a look at this guitar. This is a parts caster that I built several years ago, kind of inspired by a Mustang. It's got a short 24-inch scale length. Some things about this guitar that I really love, but also some things about it that I just find to really be shortcoming. I want to address some of those issues and hopefully bring this thing to a place where it's a guitar that I'm really excited to pick up and play and add something different to my fleet of guitars. So if you're curious about that, let's stick around, let's dive in. Okay, so let's talk about the things that I really love about this guitar first. Number one, it's really, really comfortable. Because it's so short, it's got a very lightweight, this is like just a pine body, 24-inch scale length, very compact, very close to the body. It's got a lot of nice curves, it's very comfortable. I really like the look of the Mustang guitar. It's a lightweight guitar to wear on the shoulder. Very simple, I got a little three-way toggle switch here and a volume control. Dead simple, easy to operate. Number two, a big thing I really love about this guitar is the neck. This is a Warmoth neck, actually. It's got the fat back profile, which I really love. So it's very chunky. It's got a nice smooth satin feel to this maple back. The frets play great. Everything about this, it's got nice smooth fret ends. Really great to play in the hands. So a lot of fun to feel and play this guitar. Really two main concerns that I have that I want to address. Number one is I just have never really bonded with or fell in love with how these pickups sound in this guitar. I actually initially kind of got this inspiration from, there's a guy that does shreddy, picky stuff on Mustangs, and I just thought that was really cool to play turn this thing from kind of a alt indie type guitar into more of a rock guitar. So I put this DiMarzio rail humbucker in here, and then just kind of on a whim, I put this Telly style bridge pickup in the neck position, but have always just felt like they were a little bit flat. The neck position in particular, I don't know if it's the Telly thing, but the single coil here it always just sounds a little bit honky, and I don't know if some of that is because the string spacing is so close, and this feels like it actually isn't. It's more in the middle position on where a Strat would be than compared to the neck position. But all those reasons to say I've never really fallen in love with this guitar tonally. And then lastly, this volume knob here, with this knob, isn't great, and I also wish it had a tone control. So those are really the main things that I want to address with this guitar. So what I'm going to do is take it all apart. We're going to take the strings off, take the pickups off, take this pick guard out, all the electronics out, and we're going to see what we got underneath. And I'm probably going to route it for humbuckers. So let's go ahead and start taking this thing apart so we can get inside and start routing on this bad boy.
No sunshine when she's gone. Oh, it's not home when she's away. There ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Yeah, anytime she goes away. I wonder this time where she's gone. I wonder if she's gone to stay. There ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Yeah, anytime she goes away.
Okay, one of the other inspirations for this project is I stumbled onto some stuff on AliExpress, which is like a Chinese version of Amazon, and I buy some electronic stuff there. It's really cheap, and it's kind of amazing how in China they make everything for rock bottom. So these are some humbuckers made by a company called Fleur, Fleor. These are two supposedly Alnico 5 humbuckers, and it was like $25 for the pair. This is, yeah, supposedly a full-on Alnico 5 humbucking pickup from Fleor. And yeah, I read some reviews. They didn't seem so terrible, but I was just curious about it. So let's try these bad boys in here. See how we like them. Now, you know, the best probable move would be to probably get a new scratch plate. But what fun is that? So instead, I'm going to modify this existing one. Okay, just trying to do a little bit of a dry fit here. This is where it lines up with the pickguard hole screws, and I think what I'm seeing here is this bridge pickup's going to need a little more room. Either it's going to have to go down or the pickguard's going to have to go up. Because there's quite a bit, the pick up could go up. Now these little decisions can make a big impact, because the location of the pickups forward and backward can actually very much affect like how they sound, how their EQ works. You know, the further the pickups go this way, they're going to be brighter. The further they go this way, they're going to be darker. But just trying to see too, like, how are we doing with space? Do we need to... Let's just take the bridge out. Just try the neck for right now. Fits in there pretty nicely. I think that's going to work pretty good there, guys. I think I'm probably going to route away a little bit of this lip of the wood. As opposed to, I could route away a little bit of this lip here of the plastic. And maybe we'll do a little bit of both and meet in the middle. Okay, just shaved a little bit of room there, and this is going to work nicely. I think this is all well and good. Let's clean it up. Oh, and actually there's one more issue we need to think about. And that's, I want to add a tone control, but how exactly am I going to do that? Okay, so the dilemma I currently have is that the cover that I have here had room for a volume knob, a switch, and an output jack. And I want to add a tone control. I guess one option I could do is leave this configuration as it is, and then maybe add something here on the side. That would probably be the easiest, but this body's not very thick. Another option is I could just hog out a little bit of this material here. Then I need to formulate some kind of new cover scratch plate control thing. Sometimes you try things that don't really work out. Got this piece of thin plywood. This is like from a really old renovated part of my house. I'm going to try to make something here, but I could refine the shape a lot, but any which way, I don't know, I just don't really like how the color's matching. So I'm going to pivot instead to leaving that there, but then over here I would like to maybe put like an output jack here on the side. Let's try that. Alright, I've got a hole. This is definitely going to fit in there. Got another hole down into the cavity so I can fish some wires. So I think the idea is, if you found some white plastic here in this lid, we're going to use this to cover this and hold this. Let's try it. All right, I got some holes drilled in the pick guard. I got 2 set screws, 2 springs. We got a neck pickup installed. Let's do the same thing with the B-ridge. And now a B-ridge pickup is installed. Actually, I think they came out pretty decent. Neck, bridge. Let's keep rolling. Did run into a little problem. This won't go down. I think what's happening is that screw, you can see it bottoming out right here. So I need to expand I wasn't sure exactly how deep I needed to go with this shelf, but I think if I at least drill a hole here, then that little knobber can go down, but also it doesn't have to go that far. We're gonna try that and see if that works. Well, rather than just monkeying around with drilling holes, I just came back out with the router. While I've already got the body out, it's easy to work on. I just gave it a little bit more depth. You can see I actually did 2 more cuts just to get this thing plenty of room for these humbuckers to sit exactly where I want them. All right, after a little bit of routing, she fits like a glove.
But there ain't no sunshine when she's gone. I own the darkness every day.
Okay, each of these pickups comes with a shielded cable. I got them wired here together, and then a ground wire going to the back of the pot. They go into the switch. The switch sends the black wire down to here. Then the output, we're doing 50s wiring, goes red wire out to the jack and also red wire to the tone pot. I'm going to the 0.047 tone capacitor. That's going to make it very dark, very woman tone. Then this last lug is grounded. Got some ground here on the back of the pot. Shielded cabling. I did do some, some protective stuff there. I don't want this shielded stuff touching on there. And we got our twisted pair going out here. So we're going to go volume, pickup selector, tone, output jack. We are getting there. I like the chrome pickups as well as the chrome here and the chrome on the bridge. This thing is starting to look pretty sick. Look at that. Okay, I got the guitar plugged into an amp. Got a screwdriver. Let's start testing this thing. That's a good sign. Volume works. Tone works. Everything works. Middle.
There ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Yeah, anytime she goes away. Yeah, anytime, yeah, she goes away. Oh, living anytime that she goes away. Oh, there ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away.
Okay, I'm running through some initial setup stuff. Just, little things like setting the side of the saddles and also the intonation. Got the guitar plugged into a tuner doing a little tone check, and my intonation is having a problem. If I play the low E, it's in tune. But if I play the octave, see right there, it goes pretty sharp. And in order to rectify that, I need to go backwards, but I really don't have a lot more travel before I run into these screws. So I'm actually going to take this back to the shop, start taking some measurements. It should be half the distance to here, twice the distance to here should be. Okay, so I've got my tape measure out. 12th fret is exactly at 12 inches. And the saddles are not quite here, so honestly, I probably need to go back about a half of an inch so that, yeah, because I've got some room to play with here. So we're gonna take the saddle, this whole bridge plate, and move it back about a half an inch. All right, bumped it back. This should be quite a bit better. If we measure again, my 24-inch line is right at this point of contact here at the front. I still have room to move forward and backwards, so it should be quite a bit better.
It is time.
Okay, so now I'm done with the guitar. My initial reactions is that I'm really quite thrilled with how it came out. I think that the pickup swap, going from the weird, telly bridge pickup in the neck, and then the rail humbucker in the bridge, just wasn't real thrilled with how those pickups were sounding. I think these new pickups sound quite a bit better. Even though they are like really rock bottom, super cheap, made in China, PAF style humbuckers, they sound like an Alnico 5 humbucker to me. And I think they sound really good. The neck pickup went from something that was just kind of honky and spiky and mid-rangey to something that is very fat and warm. It sounds like a PAF style neck humbucker to me. With some distortion, it gets that really velvety, creamy kind of slash thing, which is a lot of fun to play that I really was missing out of this guitar and a sound really missing from my repertoire in general. The bridge pickup rocks really, really good. And, even clean tones, actually, I was really impressed with the clean tones of this guitar. It definitely has a lightness and an airiness to it. Not a tremendous amount of low bottom end chug, but definitely a clarity and a brilliance to it that led in really nicely to some of the cleaner and bluesier tones. I also think that the volume control with the 50s wiring and the tone control sounded really good. That .047 tone cap, when I roll it all the way back, that woman tone sounds really, really fat and lush, and I really enjoyed that quite a lot. The three-way switch here is very comfortable. And even my, output jack, relocating here to the bottom has not caused any problems. It still sits really comfortably on my leg. Was maybe a little bit concerned, actually, removing some weight from the guitar, both underneath the pickups and here on the output jack, but happy to report that when I put the strap on, it still sits very comfortably on my body. I didn't notice any problems with it. Neck diving, it still sits very comfortably, feels well balanced, not doing this kind of thing. So overall, I'm really happy with how this thing plays. The 24-inch scale length Mustang is really something to get used to. I've got it tuned to E standard. These are slinky top, heavy bottom strings, so it's like a 10 to a 52. And I definitely will consider going up to a heavier gauge string. I don't know if they make an 11 to 56 or something like that. But I think a heavier gauge string would suit this just because there's less string tension, so it does feel a little floppy. But the neck plays really good. It feels really comfy. But definitely when you get up to like about the 12th fret here, honestly, it feels like you're playing on the 15th fret of a standard, 25.5-inch scale guitar, just because everything is a little bit more squished together. But at the end of the day, it produces a playing sensation that's very comfortable, very close, and it's just a nice change of pace guitar. So honestly, I'm pretty thrilled. This thing definitely does something different than the other guitars in my arsenal. The dual humbuckers is a nice change of pace, and again, the size being a little bit smaller. Again, to me, it kind of feels like a little bit of like a kind of a baby SG, but definitely in that ballpark with this tone setup. And honestly, these pickups, I would recommend them. So if you're curious about them, I think they sound really good. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. We'll see you guys again soon. Thanks. Bye.